The age-old question is there, which came first? Was it the chicken or was it the egg? So in detailing related terms, which comes first? Is it the rinse or is it the snow foam? Let me know in the comments what you think before you watch the video, and then watch how the video progresses. Hope you enjoy it. So for the purpose of the test, we are going to use the two sides of the car. One test we're going to do is we're going to pre-rinse one side, one panel, where's it, here to here, and let it air dry and just see how much a pre-rinse does take off on its own. And then on the other side of the car, we're going to again do the same thing, pre-rinse one panel here, and then we're going to snow foam the two panels. And then at the end of it, we're going to let it air dry again and see what difference the snow foam makes on a dry panel compared to a pre-rinse panel. So out of the two sides, I think that this side is the more dirtier panel, so this one is the one I'm going to test with the snow foam. And then on the other side, we're going to test this one with just the pre-rinse on its own. So I'm going to take a couple of photographs as well, just to make sure that we capture all aspects of it anyway. So let's go ahead and start with the pre-rinse down on the side. So as I said, I've just pre-rinsed this panel here now, so we're just going to let it air dry. There's a bit of wind around the place, so hopefully it'll dry quick enough anyway. I know a little bit of spill went on this side, but it shouldn't affect it too much anyway. But hopefully we'll get the idea there once it's dry, exactly what sort of a difference it's going to make just by doing a pre-rinse on its own. Now, once the other side is drying, I'm going to do the exact same on this side, except I'm going to introduce snow foam. This is the real tester, I suppose. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pre-rinse this panel here, and I'm going to snow foam then over the two panels. And then once they're dry, then well, obviously going to rinse off the snow foam, and we'll see what sort of a difference it makes then once it's all dry then. I suppose the thing with some people is they say that if you pre-rinse your panel first, because your PIR is directly calculated through your bottle, and what comes to the lance or comes onto the panel, then people think that by pre-rinsing a panel, you're actually diluting the panel further, or diluting the mix further, so you're not getting the correct PIR as such then. So I don't know, normally for me I pre-rinse it anyway, just to get all the dirt and grime and all the rough stuff off it first, and then I go with snow foam it. Others say that you should snow foam first and then get rid of it all. So look, let's see which actually gets it cleaner as such anyway. Let them all dry. And just for the benefits of this as well, I'm actually going to put it onto a time lapse anyway, just because there's no point in hanging around with all this going on. Now, I was actually going to keep doing the time lapse, but I think it's actually a bit more interesting if we didn't and had a look at exactly what is going on. So the pre-rinse side, naturally you can see the stuff is clinging to the dirt a hell of a lot better on the far side. Now, I'm using Bilt Hamber Autofoam on this one, so the dirt is actually clinging much better on the right hand side than it is on the left. So obviously that panel is wet, that's not. So there's one difference that's going on. As regards dirt, then we look down to the bottom, down onto the ground. Don't know if it's easier or harder to see. It looks as if there's more dirt coming off the dry side than there is on the pre-rinse side. Now you can still see dirt particles in there as well anyway, so it's not too much of a difference. But as regards cling time, especially with Autofoam anyway, it is lasting a little bit longer on this side. But at the same time, is it still doing the same amount of work? I'm not sure. We'll have to see once it's rinsed and see how it's going then. Let's have a look on the far side. So this was just the rinse side only, and it's starting to dry up. So you can see now from this part that there's still a hell of a lot of contamination in the paintwork. You can see anyway, look, that's all dry anyway, so there's still a lot of dirt built up there. So pre-rinse has taken the rough stuff off as such, but you're still left with a hell of a lot of dirt anyway. So I think the whole lot is going to be interesting once it's all finished, so we'll plough on. Yeah, so on the foam side, obviously you can see the stuff kind of drying in already. I'm going to have to try and think about rinsing this one off anyway. So the stuff is starting to dry up there a little bit. The rinse side, it's still the same sort of dryness, if you want to put it that way, as the like the pre-rinse side is the same sort of dryness as the dry side, if that makes sense. You know, once the stuff is coming off, it's all kind of drying in the same amount of time anyway. So yeah, let's rinse it off and see how it goes then. So we're about 5 or 6 minutes into it here now, so let's see. So all the panels are dry, and this is the result of geez, I'm going to step back a bit. This is the result of the two things. So this panel obviously pre-rinsed, this one not. They look pretty much identical, if I can say that. Hopefully you can pick it up in the camera with the way sunlight and everything is going. But there's still, like, obviously you're still going to get your dusty marks on both sides, so we're going to do another little test. We're just going to get a white bit of tissue and have a look at the two sides and see does one come up dirtier than the other, but I think they're fairly similar to each other anyway. Okay, now on the pre-rinsed, hang on, we can see myself here. Okay, on the pre-rinsed side, there's a little bit of dirt, and then on the other side, I'm just going to take from here because it's less wet. That's actually quite funny. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm actually thinking now that the pre-rinse side is more dirtier than the dry side. I'm going to try another bit and see. Turn it around. There, and can you see that there? So pre-rinsed and not pre-rinsed. This is quite interesting because I used to pre-rinse the whole panels. I used to pre-rinse everything first. So I did, right, pre-rinse again. I'm going to take a big, massive one this time. Don't worry, my car is covered in swirls anyway, so I'm not really too bothered about any scratches or anything like that, what I'm doing. So for all the haters out there. Oh. That's mad. I have to go out and say that doing it on a drier car rather than pre-rinsing it first, and that's working out with that 4% PIR and stuff like that. Although they look the same, doing it on a dry panel or Snowfoam your car before pre-rinsing looks as if it's gotten more of the dirt off. Now I know you're not getting all the hard stuff off generally, you know, like if it's built up with muck and all sorts of, like a really heavy caked car, I think you'd be more beneficial in doing a pre-rinse first anyway. But yeah, I think for your everyday car, like this is all just water splashes and everything that was all sort of normal traffic film as such, you know. Basically there was a massive puddle down beside my house and I kept on splashing into it to try and get as much dirt as I could up onto the car. For the likes of all this stuff down here, I don't know, I'm going to snow foam it anyway and see how much of it takes off. So I suppose that'll be the last test for the video. I'm going to put the snow foam on the car dry and see how that ends up then. Just thinking, while I do have the snow foam going, normally when I'd have the snow foam going, I'd go around it with a detailing brush, but the only reason that I would do it is because of the fact that I have already pre-rinsed it. Now, I've gone around it now with a dry, you know, with no pre-rinse or anything like that. So I'm actually not going to go with a detailing brush then to get in the likes of the little emblems and all that sort of stuff in there. There's probably a lot of caked up dirt in those and all sorts of things around the places and whatever, you know. So I think until you've done your rinse and you're going on to a shampoo stage, I think you definitely shouldn't be using a detailing brush at this stage anyway. So it's just another little thing then. Alright, let's get rid of it. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say that there is no problems with that. Just takes it all off, or loosens it anyway and gets rid of it all. So, good stuff. So what is the conclusion from all of this? I think, and from the test I suppose that I've done, is that by not pre-rinsing your car, the foam actually stays on the car a lot longer, and the longer dwell time that you do have seems to be the contributing factor, or that's the main reason that you actually get a panel cleaner as such. So the two of them dry in the same time, doesn't really make too much of a difference. Still showed by using the white cloth that the non-pre-rinse side, so the dry side, was actually cleaner after all the air drying and all that sort of stuff. So did the exact same thing with the wheels, using the alloy wheel cleaner then as well. So by putting alloy wheel cleaner on before rinsing, leave that on to dwell for a couple of minutes and then spraying it off with the power washer, it did the exact same thing. So maybe it could speed up a bit of processes by maybe combining the likes of snow foam and wheel cleaner at the same time. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, do all those sort of bits, and yeah, leave a comment. What do you think? Have you changed your mind? Did you pre-rinse before? Are you going to change your ways of doing things? Let me know in the comments there if you can, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.